Hello, so the purpose of this video is to talk about finance in Excel, and we're looking at part one. And we're using the document that I have given you called Finance in Excel Part 1. And on this page, it discusses the formula on how we find compound interest. And notice we're using APR. And so we have A equals P times 1 plus APR over N raised to the N, and Y power. In the sheet it states Y, but in your notes I've used the letter T. So it doesn't matter which variable you use, they represent the same thing. Both of them are representing time in years. So it's very important that you read through this document because I am skipping around. I'm not explaining anything. In fact, I'm only literally trying to show you how to utilize Excel. So if you look at letter A, it says Jim deposits $3,000 into an account with an APR of 1.45% compounded daily. Determine the balance in 10 years, assuming there are no additional deposits and no withdrawals. So what I'm going to start by doing is saying that this is problem A. And I'm going to type APR, N, Y, PMT, P, and then FV. And in the other column, I'm going to write the respective values. 1.45%, N is 365, Y is 10, PMT is 0, P is 3,000. And final value is what I'm looking for. So in order to find the final value, this is where I'm utilizing Excel to actually calculate what my final value is. I'm going to type the equal sign. I'm then going to type FV for final value, parentheses. And you'll notice here that the formula of what I need to type in pops up. Right now it's telling me to type in my rate. Because I've already typed this out on the Excel document, I can actually just click on the cell that has rate. I can do comma, and then I want to plug in my N value. And I actually did that incorrect because I should be dividing by my rate value. I apologize. Comma, and then click my N value again. And I'm multiplying that times the Y value. Comma, a negative sign. The negative will always be there as described in the notes in the section. And then click PMT, comma, and then another negative. Again, the negative will always be in front of your P value. Click P, close your parentheses. In your little sheet, I explained that type is always equal to 0, so we don't have to worry about that at all in this course. We press equals, and we get our final value. And the cool thing about this is we can actually change any of these values. So if I go to part 2, problem B, I don't have to retype everything. Instead, I can just type, okay, I'm using problem B here, and I can put in my new values. So Andrea had 2%, and you'll notice that things are automatically changing. My final value is automatically recalculating. 12 is my compound value, 5 is my years, 0 PMT, and my principal was 500. And so you'll notice my final value automatically calculated. So it's pretty cool because I don't have to keep retyping out my formula. Once I do it once and I'm sure that I've done it correctly, I'm good to go. And so you can see my formula here if you need to pause this video just to ensure that you do it properly. And then maybe you want to end up at a particular final value. You know that you want to be at a certain value. If that's the case, then you can use something called goal seek. And I want to let you know that everybody's goal seek is going to be in a different location. You're just going to have to look on your Excel document to see where yours is. I'm trying to look here to see if there's another button for me to press. I know that for me, you can't see it on your screen, but there's something called tools at the top. And so if I actually go and type on tools, then that allows me to be able to get to my goal seek function. I was just trying to look for an easier button, but I don't think I see one on my particular screen. And again, that's going to vary from what version of Excel you're using. So if you can't find it, there's a help feature on Excel, and you can type in goal seek and it should help you figure out where it's at. But Again, you can't see my screen, but at the very top is something called Tools. So I'm going to that, and then when I click on Tools, underneath that, there's something that says Goal Seek, and when I click on Goal Seek, this pops up. So I want to go ahead and make my final value 1000. So I'm going to set the cell and click on the cell that I want to change. And you see that it states B7. And I want to change it to $1,000. And I want to actually see how many years will it take me to get to $1,000 if I keep everything else the same. So when I do the by changing cell, I'm actually going to click on the cell with years in it, and it puts its code there. And if you watch my screen when I press OK, everything recalculates really, really quickly to a target value of 1000. And so there is the value of years that I would need. And so when you go to the back page, as you're going to complete this lab, this is the setup that you're going to want to use. Again, when you submit your assignment, I want to be able to see the problem number. So for example, you would maybe put problem number 1 here, and then you would have this column which defines your variables. You would have this column which would give its respective values. You would have your final value formula, not just typing in the actual number, but typing in using the formula based off of each of your cells. And I should see that for each problem. So you can go off to the side and do that for problem 2, or you can come down here and do, problem 2 or problem 3. However you want to lay it out is fine. But I should see all 4 answers when you submit your final file. Okay? As always, if you have questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always more than happy to assist you with any needs. And I hope you all have a good and wonderful rest of your week.